Tonight I witnessed a spectacle of such profound mediocrity that it felt as though the abyss itself had opened its maw to swallow the Dolby Theatre whole. Conan O'Brien, this lanky harbinger of chaos, stood before us, a man tasked with shepherding the glittering herd of Hollywood through its annual ritual of self-congratulation. And yet what transpired was not a shepherding but a descent into a void so bleak, so utterly devoid of meaning, that even the stars in the firmament wept in silent despair. His opening monologue, a cascade of jests flung forth like stones into a stagnant pond, rippled briefly before sinking into oblivion. Where was the ferocity, the primal howl of a man confronting the absurdity of existence? Instead, we were offered quips toothless, domesticated, as if scripted by a committee of bureaucrats rather than a soul wrestling with the infinite. He mocked Netflix, he mocked Chalamet, and yet the barbs lacked the sting of truth, the piercing gaze into the human condition that might have elevated this farce into something transcendent. It was as though he danced upon the surface of a frozen lake, too timid to plunge into the icy depths below. The audience, those gilded mannequins draped in their borrowed finery, laughed on cue, their mirth a hollow echo reverberating through a cathedral of vanity. But I saw through their masks. Behind those smiles lurked the terror of irrelevance, the gnawing dread that this night, presided over by O'Brien's flailing ineptitude, would be remembered not as a triumph, but as a footnote in the grand tragedy of time. His improvisations, heralded as a gift, were but frantic flailings, a drowning man grasping at driftwood in a sea of his own making. When he burst into song, a garish parody of the Oscars' interminable length, I felt not amusement, but a shiver of cosmic horror, as if the universe itself recoiled at the sound. And then the interludes, oh the interludes! This was not comedy, this was a cry for help, a man lost in the labyrinth of his own shtick, begging for the mercy of oblivion. The promised triple threat, singing, dancing, contortion, revealed itself as a triple wound, each note off key, each step a stumble, each twist a grotesque mockery of grace. I longed for the silence of the tundra, the purity of a world untainted by such artifice. The films honored tonight carry within them the weight of human struggle, the raw sinew of life's unyielding brutality, yet O'Brien reduced them to punchlines, their profundity trampled beneath his clownish boots. This was not a host, this was a parasite, feeding on the dignity of the moment until nothing remained but ash. In the end, Conan O'Brien's tenure as master of ceremonies was a grim parable of our age, a man granted a stage of infinite possibility, only to squander it on triviality. I left the broadcast not enraged, but emptied, as if I had stared too long into the sun and found only darkness. Nature, in its cruel indifference, would have done better to host this night. Let the wind howl through the theater, let the earth tremble, let the void speak. For in their silence there is more truth than in all the words this pale jester could muster.